Brian Kruse is a contractor and member of the board of directors of Save Mount Diablo. I interviewed him in his beautifully restored farmhouse on the Cakebread Ranch, a property bordering Round Valley Regional Preserve that has been in his family since 1898.
The Cakebreads came from around Cambridge, England. They were weavers. Machines came in and they were out of a job. And in those days, evidently in England, their unemployment insurance was a free ticket to America.
Lured by the gold rush, Kruse's great-grandfather, Robert Cakebread, immigrated to California around 1860. When he couldn't make money in the gold fields, he moved to what is now called Black Diamond Mines Regional Preserve to mine coal. He and a partner raised a few sheep on the side on land they leased from the coal company.
And he and his partner had a dustup, I guess you'd call it, where they had a disagreement and they decided to part ways and they flipped a coin. One of them had to buy out the other one, whoever lost. So my grandfather lost. He got the money, the other guy got the sheep. A couple weeks later, there was a huge storm and washed all the sheep down the hillside, and they died in the gullies. So the other guy ended up with nothing, and then he took his money and started buying ranch land, moving further east.
By the time Robert Cakebread died, he had 4 ranches to leave to his 4 children. Kruse's grandfather, Vernon Cakebread, inherited this ranch along Marsh Creek.
So anyway, my grandfather had 2 brothers and a sister. He stayed and worked the ranch during World War I. So one brother went to war, one brother went to college, and my grandfather stayed here and worked the ranch. And his sister went to school. My grandfather lived in this house with my grandmother. The kitchen used to be outside, it was a separate building. And that kitchen had come out of the Black Diamond mines. When they closed the mines, people went up and got the buildings and drug them out and moved them. And then that old kitchen was out there, which my great-grandmother preferred because it didn't heat up the house. When they put the kitchen on the house, she did nothing but complain about how hot it was in the house.
Kruse's mother was born in this house. Kruse himself grew up in Concord but spent a month on the Cakebread Ranch every summer. After his grandparents passed away, Kruse remodeled this house and moved in with his wife, Margaret. But that's getting ahead of our story. In the 1980s, when county officials threatened to condemn part of the Cakebread Ranch for a landfill, Kruse's grandfather, Vernon Cakebread, was still around, and he was furious about the idea of a dump on his land. In the next segment, Kruse and Robert Doyle give us a first-hand account of what happened next.